morning, guys. Welcome to Jewel for Real. Today is my 22-week bump date. Yes, I'm 22 weeks. The baby's 1 pound right now. It is the size of they said about it, the teddy bear that your baby will be playing with when it's born. So I don't know, this might be on the bigger side, I don't know. And right now it responds to sound and touch. So it does more like thumb sucking or like playing with its fingers or somersaults, and it will like hear you talk like right now and enjoy hearing sounds. So I thought that was pretty cool. Things I plan on discussing in this 22-week bump day is my ultrasound. Since then I got my ultrasound. I also had a midwife appointment, and I'm going to be talking about pregnancy symptoms, my girls' room dilemma, my name dilemma for the girl. Like I said, since then I had my ultrasound appointment finally, and it went great. We went there, and you can see it in our Family for Real vlog. So if you want to check that out, if you haven't already, just go over to Family for Real and you can see the ultrasound and how it went for us. It was a lot better than other times. It was actually considered a high-risk ultrasound. This time around I had to go to a maternal fetal medicine department rather than a regular ultrasound place. And it was a little different in that, at least for me, I don't know how it is for other people, but for me, when I went, I had like more, they just definitely looked at things more. They definitely looked at things more for the baby, and they at times gave me like 3D like pictures and like showed me in 3D what the baby looks like. They also had the doctor come in right afterwards and tell me how the appointment went, which I'd never had before either. I always had to wait to hear from the midwife in another day or two. So that was a little different too. I found out that the baby's okay, and they said that everything measured appropriately, looked appropriately, and so far with the pregnancy, I'm A-okay. I also found out that the baby's heartbeat at that time was like 140 beats per minute, and they said it weighed about 14 ounces, but which is a little less than a pound, but that was also like a week ago, so I'm sure it's probably like a pound by now. So they also said that the baby was breech, but my midwife said not to worry about that until I'm like 32 weeks, like around 32 weeks. If your baby is still breech, they will worry about that because it's harder to turn and talk about turning the baby. But at 21 weeks, they don't worry about that yet, because she said the baby could already have done a somersault since the ultrasound and be in a totally different position now. One thing in the ultrasound they said is the baby was constantly moving, that it was hard to get certain pictures because the baby was always moving, but they managed to get all the pictures that they needed. But it was a little hard. It took like 4 tries to get the gender of the baby. They actually kept looking to confirm it was a girl, because I had that blood test a few months ago that said it was a girl, but I wanted them to confirm it was a girl, and it took them like 4 tries. During the ultrasound, they like kept saying the baby's legs were crossed, so they couldn't figure it out. But finally on the 4th try, at the very end of the ultrasound, they were able to see that it was indeed a girl. So now I can now that I know that it's definitely a girl, I can start getting rid of the boy stuff. I can start really thinking about girls' names and how I'm gonna manage the girls' room to fit the baby, just stuff like that. Like I was kind of like holding off on just till I had the confirmation from the ultrasound too. They also said that they also saw the baby, like what appeared to be the baby sucking its thumb. So I don't know if it'll be a thumb sucker when it's born. It really liked its arms like over its head different times of the ultrasound. It was so cute. Here, I'm gonna show you. They actually gave me a ton of pictures during my ultrasound. The baby's profile. There's where they said the baby appeared to be sucking its thumb, because it looks like it really has its thumb in its mouth right there, and there's its hand. There's both feet together, because the baby had its feet crossed a lot. There is the baby's leg and foot, and then there's a 3D picture of the baby. You can see his face right in there. There's the baby's arm and hand. Another profile shot. And that's one of my favorite pictures. That's where I feel like she looks like Brody. For some reason to me it looks like Brody's profile. And that's where they confirmed that it was a girl. The last picture. So as you can see, I got a ton of ultrasound pictures. The lady there, the technician I got, was awesome. She like talked me through everything, pointing like, here's the kidneys and here's this and this is like the brain and this is like the spleen. And I never had that before. You know, usually the technicians were quiet in the past that I had and just kind of like did their thing and then would show me periodically what the baby looked like. But this is the first time I had some experience like that with the screen right in front of me and her pointing everything out and then printing like 20 pictures out for me. She was so awesome. I love that technician. The very next day I had a midwife appointment and you could check that out on Family for Real as well. It says it's called Midwife Prank, and I finally did from my last 20-week bump date. I talked about possibly doing a midwife prank. I actually did it and pulled it off, so you can check that out on Family for Real. I was excited, but when I got there, you always have to weigh yourself when you get there, and I am now like 135 pounds. I'm up 8 pounds since I got pregnant. They actually wanted to see me at this point be up 10 pounds during my pregnancy, and I'm only up 8 pounds, but I'm not too concerned about it because I think the baby's going to be hitting a growth spurt soon. You know, my appetite hasn't been quite the same as with the other pregnancies because in the last month we've had like a ton of 90-degree temperature days and humid as all get out. And I don't know, your appetite isn't quite the same when it's like hot and humid out, and I just think that that's the reason why I wasn't as hungry. That, along with just being so tired and going to bed the same time as the kids without a bedtime snack like I did in prior pregnancies. But I just think those are the reasons why I think once the fall approaches, it gets cooler out, the baby hit another growth spurt, my thyroid gets leveled out, and I'm not as tired, that I'll probably catch up with my weight that they want to see me gain. They said for me to try to eat more nuts and cheeses to pack on the pounds. I don't know if I want to do that. I feel like the baby's measuring fine. Like, I don't know if I need to necessarily do that, but I'm going to try to snack a little more throughout the day. The baby's heart rate at that appointment was 150. So it went from 140 during the ultrasound to 150. It's been the whole entire pregnancy. It's been between 140 and 150. That's just been what the baby's been around for this particular pregnancy. Now, talking about my pregnancy symptoms, one thing I wanted to mention this time around is that I have to say my emotions have definitely pumped up since like 2 weeks ago, my last bump date. I'm definitely more emotional. I definitely cry easier. Like, I cried, I think, one night because, like, our whole schedule got loused up and we couldn't eat dinner in time. So because we couldn't eat dinner in time, we couldn't have family time. And for some reason in my head, I really wanted family time. And so I broke down crying and upset. Usually, like, I would be upset and stuff at that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't get that upset and cry that much about it. Definitely getting the better of me. Or if I see a commercial that's of a kid, a child growing up, or something along those lines, or a child dying, like on the news, I will just like cry way more easily. Stuff that normally when I'm not pregnant would bother me, but just it's amplified like times 20 when you're pregnant, especially at this phase of pregnancy. And another thing is I kind of get like in a funk more easily too, and that's part of the emotions. Like I just feel like that I can't keep up, and just nothing is going right, and just like you get more in a funk too. That's one of the downsides at this point in pregnancy. Even though you don't have a lot of other symptoms, you have like your emotions just skyrocket. The out of breath feeling is increasing. Like I said, I knew it was going to during the pregnancy as time went on, and it is increasing. As I walk across the room or up the stairs, I have to catch my breath. So that's definitely gotten worse. Surprisingly, though, the heartburn isn't there yet. I mean, it was there for like a week or so, and then it went away. And I don't know if it's because I'm not eating bedtime snacks like I typically would, but so far the heartburn is at a very, very, very minimal. And with other pregnancies, I remember being in like full force by now. So I'm excited about that. My back has been hurting all of a sudden recently, because the baby is out and about. with my belly and is pulling on my back and hurting my back. And I think I need a chiropractic appointment this next week to see if that helps, because it's just bothering me quite a bit. Talking about it, I was gonna say I'm getting more hot flashes now that I'm pregnant. And I'm getting one now because I'm sitting on the porch in like 90-degree humidity. And I'm thinking, am I crazy? I should have done this inside on my bed like I typically do. But I just thought, I loved the porch, vlog last time. So I decided to try it again. But I am hot. Oh my word. I'm dying. I'm sweating underneath my hairline and where my neck is. I get so hot, like during the night especially, I have hot flashes. And I'll just be like, start off like with like pants on and end up pantless. Like I'll have socks on, those will come off, and I just like have the fan blowing on me. It used to be on Randy's side of the bed, and I moved it to my side of the bed because I need the fan blowing right on me. And it's just unreal how hot I've been getting. During the pregnancy, around this time too, I have to bring 2 glasses of water with me beside my bed. I'm just like drinking tons and tons and tons of water, and which is good for you, but like I'm just drinking so much. And like at night, I usually just have like 1/2 glass of water beside my bed. But when I'm pregnant, around the 20-week mark, I need like 2 full glasses of water beside my bed, because that's how much I go through from the time I go to bed to the time I get up in the morning. I've been starting to get some ligament pain, getting some pains like where like the bottom of my belly is or the top of my leg. And I know it's just because everything's like moving right now and growing. I know the baby grows a lot right around now. So those were my pregnancy symptoms so far that I kind of experienced. I'm also more in the mood. My husband enjoys that, I'm just gonna say. I know that the 4 or 5 month mark, when I read online too, like it seems like a lot of other people, get more in the mood at that time, more than other times with other pregnancies. I've heard it's because I'm in my mid-30s. And I'm at my prime. Also, like the name, as far as the girl's name, I'm just not sure on it yet. Every time I think I'm like close to having it decided, I had like 1 or 2 other girls' names on the list. And then I'm more confused than I was. I should just probably stop looking at lists of names now and trying to wean down the names that are on the list. I have probably about like 7 names on the list that I'm trying to decide on, so I gotta make a decision soon, guys, because I would like to have a decision made by vacation, so that way there's a special name review I want to do, and that would require me to do it on vacation. We'll see if I can have the name decided by then. It's hard when you and your husband have to agree. It's not just my decision, he has to agree on the name too. So we're trying to come to a decision together. Hopefully soon we can have a name reveal for you guys. I will be talking about, because this is getting a little longer because of my ultrasound, talking about my ultrasound. I will, I think, talk about my girls' room dilemma and show you the girls' room at my 24-week bump date. So I'll just kind of explain to you, because we're putting 3 girls in 1 bedroom, how I think I'm going to do that and how I'm going to handle that, having 3 girls in 1 small bedroom. But I know it can be done. So I'm gonna show you that and kind of explain more my thoughts on it. But I think I'm gonna keep that at the 24-week bump date because this is getting a little longer now. But stay tuned for that at the 24-week bump date. Other symptoms I experience and all that fun stuff. I'm sure I'll have lots of other stuff to share with you in 2 weeks at my 24-week bump date. So until next time, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you comment below. I enjoy comments. Tell me how your 20-week ultrasound went. Tell me your name, how you went about choosing your name, and any name suggestions you have for us as we try to make a decision in the next month. Also subscribe if you're not already down below. I'd love to see you on board. I put out bi-weekly bump dates and also other different videos at random when I choose, I'm talking about homeschool or the kids or organic stuff, just whatever floats my boat at the time or whatever people request. So here it goes, guys. Here is my belly at 22 weeks from the side, the front. This is the other side. And here's the baby belly. next time, guys, fly high and dream big.